I'll start with the Daily Graphic. President nominates 81 for second batch of MMDCs. I saw a video on Facebook yesterday of a teacher who is said to be in class teaching, and the announcement came that he had been nominated for DCE.
Wow.
And the people just flooded the school. They started pouring powder over him. They put him on the back of a motorbike and drove him off. So president nominates 81 for second batch MMDCs. Fake gold, currency bust, BOG money boxes found at crime scene, national security. And protect telecom infrastructure to enhance network quality. MTN Ghana CEO appeals to the government. Let's focus on TVET to address unemployment. Executive chairman of McDan Group. And Hearts of Folk return to winning ways. Phobia. Yes, we've returned to winning ways.
Talk about there's a better one there.
Oh, Lions share spoils with Kotoko.
Sadly, I mean, Lions have done well.
And Dreams maintain unbeaten run.
But you can just share the table.
Asante Kotoko is that number one.
That is what I want to hear.
Bibiani Gold Stars number 2, Hearts of Lions number 3, Hearts of Folk number 4.
Okay.
There is only a 6-point difference between Hearts of Folk and Kotoko.
No, the most important thing is that Kotoko is at number 1. Africa's club of the 20th century.
So we've turned a story about Hearts of Oak into an opportunity to give Kotoko fans.
Oh, but you're talking about Africa's club of the 20th century.
We are talking about Hearts of Oak, is what we're talking about.
We should be proud. No, but Kotoko also has Accra Lions. Is it Accra Lions? They were, they were.
Was the story about?
There's a story about Kotoko, if you care to know.
Or Kotoko.
Well, if you care to know, there's a story about Kotoko.
So when you get to that one, then you can talk about your
we got to, and I talked
African
about,
Kings of Champions or
where
whatever.
I talked about Africa's club of the last century. We're dealing with a better club. Let's get to the news center. Let me say good morning to Mama Vio Usu Abuaje, wherever you are.
Because she's not here, that's why you can do this.
Has a story. CDS urges Mahama to reject petitions against EC boss. So the Center for Democracy and Socio-Economic Development has petitioned President Mahama to reject recent calls for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and 3 of her colleagues. CDS warns that acting on such petitions would set a dangerous political precedent and further threaten the independence of Ghana's electoral body. Also on the front page, Apenyo marking rally support for NPP 2028 comeback. And we're told that the minority leader Alexander Kwame Apenyo marking has encouraged members and sympathizers of the NPP not to be disheartened by the party's loss in the 2024 general elections. Instead, he assured them that strategic reorganization and revitalization efforts are underway to restore the party's strength and political influence. And he believes the NPP's resilience in parliament, even as a minority, demonstrates the party's continued relevance and readiness to reclaim political power from the NDC. Also on the front page, NPP grills government over $452.1 million cocaine and plane saga story on page 6. Says that the opposition NPP has intensified its call for transparency from the government or what it describes as a deepening scandal involving the seizure of cocaine worth over $452.1 million and the suspicious presence of 2 foreign aircraft in Ghana. The party is demanding what it terms further and better particulars from the ruling administration, accusing it of shielding critical details from the public and the international community. Also on the front page, assemble smartphones in Ghana to boost digitalization drive. That's MTN CEO. Lots of stories on the front page.
Yes.
And Stephen Blue were talking about that. But also here, one that I'm sure many people would be interested in, the news center says, jail locals deport the foreigners. Mahama's controversial anti-galamsey policy sparks outrage. And, this is something that we broadcasted, we broadcast, or I think on Friday here, where the Interior Minister was talking about the fact that, foreigners who engage in galamsey will be deported. And so the story says that the John Mahama administration has come under fire for making what many consider a mockery of the fight against illegal mining by the reintroduction of a controversial policy that jails Ghanaian citizens while deporting foreign nationals engaged in the same illegal mining activities. Originally implemented in 2013 during Mahama's first term, the policy has been revived with the recent deportation of 107 foreigners arrested for their involvement in illegal mining. Just make a quick point about this. Kojo, look, when Aisha Wang was deported, we asked a question and said, why did we deport Aisha Wang? In fact, when Yao Safomafo said, oh, but what would you gain jailing her? Then the opposition complained and said, why? Is it because of some loan agreements that Ghana had with China? Why would you allow the person who is destroying our environment just to leave the country? The question is, what has changed? Was he right after all? Or he's wrong, but this current policy is right?
How could something that was wrong 6 years ago be right
exactly
now, around the same circumstances?
If you get somebody who is destroying our environment, that person must be punished. I don't see why. I mean, if a foreigner is caught in engaging in illegal mining, something he or she would not dare in her country, we want to allow that person back into a country and do what? And go and serve a jail term or what? Please. This is not the right policy.
These are the facts.
Okay, let me bring
these are the facts. Every government is going to prioritize their gains over the fight against galamsey. I think as a people we need to understand that when it comes to galamsey, it is now us against our government. Because they are not going to act in our favor. They are not. They are not. They are proving it time and time again. So Mahama was talking about when he comes chasing the big fish. He was so intent on chasing the big fish that he even promised to let go of the small fry. Even though they are all criminals, he promised to let go of them so he can chase big fish.
Cut the head of the snake.
Now you are going to deport
it.
the big fish? You're going to deport them? Do you think that if you go to China and pollute their river, they will deport you? Do you think that's what they'll do? They'll buy you a plane ticket and send you home? What is wrong with us? So now it's quite clear the battle lines are drawn. When it comes to galamsey, don't rely on your government. They can't protect you. From this, the biggest threat to our lives, they can't protect us.
Well, let me bring you some other stories from the publisher, and I'll give you details from the Daily Graphic. The publisher, Josafo versus MPP disciplinary committee meeting with her postponed indefinitely. 16-year-old senior high school boy shoots mates in school. Illegal midnight foreign bar terrorized Ghanaians. This is around the Spintex area. Now, there's this story about BOG money boxes found at a crime scene. And the story is by Timothy Goba of the Daily Graphic. And the story says the National Security is probing the mysterious circumstances under which a syndicate, which was recently busted over fake currencies and gold bars in Accra, was in possession of exclusive Bank of Ghana money boxes. Operatives of the National Security uncovered several official Bank of Ghana money boxes at the syndicate's operation center at Sapeman in the Greater Accra region off the Accra and Salom Road. Authorities have since verified that those boxes labeled exclusive to the Bank of Ghana were not replicas but genuine Bank of Ghana property. The syndicate's operation has since been under national security surveillance to protect and preserve the integrity of the evidence. Now, the director in charge of special operations at the National Security Secretariat, Richard Dapa, told journalists during an exclusive tour of the supposed crime scene that national security was on the heels of the ringleader of the syndicate. The ringleader, simply known as Alhaji, has been on the run since the February 2025 successful sting operation that found American dollars and Ghanaian cedis in fake notes in 10 40-footer containers. So that story is here in the Daily Graphic. There's also the story of MMDCs, and for me, when it comes to governance, the local level administration is key for me. And so we must know our MMDCs and ensure that we push them to do the right things for their community. So new MMDCs have been announced for Upper West, Western Region, Central Region, Upper East and Northern Region. The details are in the Daily Graphic.
I have a little concern. These MMDCs, I am reliably informed. This one I know, had to pay money. Some paid 5,000, others paid 10,000. In some districts, they said they'll collect 5,000. In other districts, the assembly members requested 10,000 Ghana cedis. So this DCE, where did he get the money, first of all? And how is he going to perform when, one, his belief is that he got the position because of his loyalty to a government and what he did, and two, the second point is that he got the job also because he had to pay money.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we do this to ourselves? So this man or woman is going to sit there and over the period try to recoup the money he or she invested in becoming DCE. Or whoever gave that person money is going to come taking shoddy deals. This is the reason I say, enough. Let's elect them in whatever form. So that we can put an end to this. Because we cannot continue. Let me just make this point. Go to my area, Ga East. The road from Teman to the assembly through the front of Oak Villa Estate is in such a deplorable state. Now, the contractor started work. I remember years ago, an MCE told me that we're not going to construct the road because I was giving them pressure on radio. Prior to the elections, work started on the road. Kojo, since 7th December, the contractor has not been at the site. Since the 7th of December, he hasn't been there. And if you, I mean, the name of the contractor, Real Access Limited, that road is now, you can see gullies in the road. And nobody cares. It's been 4 long months. What are we waiting for? But if in any serious, if we had elected that person who is DCE, the person would know that he or she must improve the conditions of the people. We'll come back to that.
Now let's go to tariffs, Kojo.
Okay, real quick.
Yes. So the AFTA General Secretary says that we will not allow America first, Africa last. This is in reaction to the tariffs, and that ministers of trade are going to meet and strategize. If you turn to page 29 of the Daily Graphic, there is an article by Professor Douglas Boateng, Inconvenient Truth, When Tariffs Bite, Africa Must Build, Turning Global Trade Wars into Continental Opportunity. He's talking about the effects of the tariff on clothing and textiles, agric and wine, and related matters. We're also told that Ghana's Minister of Trade and Industry is also going to have a meeting. Our Foreign Affairs Minister is also going to meet the U.S. Ambassador. And
along with the finance minister.
Yes, and key agencies have also released statements. The Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters has released a statement. Apparently, yam is one of the things that we export to the U.S. And now the customers in the U.S. are telling us to reduce our prices so that the tariffs will not affect the retail end of their business to their customers. So many things to do with this tariff and how it's going to affect us.
And that was what Donald Trump was hoping anyway. That's the cost will then be borne by the countries who will reduce their prices if they want to continue selling to Americans.
For something like yam, which you get from Uti region, in Kwanta, northern region, if we are reducing our price, who bears that reduction?
Precisely.
Is it that poor farmer in Banda, Nampandri, all those places in Kwanta, who is going to bear that cost, or the aggregator, or the government?
As a poor farmer, as a poor farmer, I mean, the one who is hit the most is the farmer. The aggregator would definitely, he would tell you that
transfer is
you know, give it to me at this price because of what is happening. He would actually misinterpret the whole tariff system to the farmer, and then beat it down, and then still maximize profit. Anyway,
let me ask this: do we export gold to the United States?
I'll check that. We
I
can check.
I think I
know that the key things we export to the US, one of them is crude oil. We export textiles. We export yam. We export what else? Yeah, we export cocoa beans, and then cocoa pastes and all those things. We can check on the gold as well.
I'm checking.
Yeah, we do export gold. We do export gold. Yes, we do export gold. We do export gold, Winston. We do.
Okay, so okay, I'm checking. I get.
We have the 10-year exports history of gold to various countries.
Right.
We can go through them.
Yeah,
we'll
have a look at that and bring more detail later.